Yo, AD, we gon' fuck this shit up.
And we're back. Sway reporting live, one-on-one sit-downs. Thank you again for tuning in. And like I said, like I always say, my guests are special. Every one of my guests are special. Thank you for tuning in to the Gary Irvin one-on-one sit-down. It was a great one. I hope you liked that one. But we got a different energy. Like I would say, a different aura. And, you know, that's the man I have today. So, Aura, thank you for being here. How are you, brother?
I'm good, bro. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to have you here. For real,
Appreciate
for real. Let's get it started. First, we know you. I know you as Aura, but of course, what's your name? Where you from? And you know what you like to do in these streets.
Andre Sykes. I'm from Fort Greene, Brooklyn, New York. I'm a hooper, man. That's what I like to do in these streets, man.
Of course, of course. So I just want to get into the age because you know different age, different types of hoopers, different stuff like that. So how old are you, and when did you start playing basketball?
26.
26.
Yeah, I started hooping like 9 years old. Started taking it more serious when I was about 11. So that's when I really got a feel for things. That's when I really got on the circuit. Like just, hooping and playing in tournaments. Then I started, rising up, playing AAU and stuff. So that's when my life really started to like come along, string along.
So AAU, all right. So we're gonna try to go down the timeline as I try to figure out your life. This is my first time talking to you, a real conversation. Some people first time even meeting you. They probably see and you don't really know about you. So this is your time. So so you said you started playing ball around 9-11. So that's about junior high, going into high school. So what was your growing up style like? How did you get into basketball? Who brought it to the table? What was it? How did it get into your life per se?
Well, just being on the playgrounds of Fort Greene, like everybody had a basketball. So, I wasn't really into it, but I seen everybody playing, so I started getting a feel for it. I started playing, and then I, got advanced and stuff. But the person who really taught me how to play ball is a funny story. It's my bro. He my age. Omar Cook nephew.
Okay.
James
Okay.
Cook. So we little kids. He was so advanced. Everybody loved him. He was playing ball. So I started seeing him, and I got on the court with him. And he was really teaching me like how to shoot, how to lay the ball up. And we little kids at this time.
Fundamentals.
Yeah, so he gave me all the fundamentals. So, James, appreciate you, gang. Facts.
Shout out to James. So let's get into high school, right? This is a point where guys make their name. They
sure.
get into the type of player that they want to be. Who were you mirroring your game after at that time? And what was your high school ball like?
Well, I mirrored my game, after I love Chris Paul. So I was watching Chris Paul, but like outside of like, a celebrity, a NBA star, I was watching Sean Amon. He from Fort Greene too. He played professional also. He played at Iona. So I kind of like, tried to imitate a lot from him and watch him, coming up. So that was my upbringing. I had a roller coaster in high school though.
Let's talk about it.
So I started off at George Westinghouse.
Ooh, Westinghouse.
I left, like growing up, the streets and stuff, it's tough. So I caught myself being with the wrong crowd sometimes. My mom wasn't having that, and my coach wasn't having that. Sean Mark, he the coach at South Shore, Smoke.
Okay.
So Smoke got me out of here. I was 14. He got me out of here. I started playing high school ball in South Carolina prep.
South Carolina.
So I was in Rock Hill for a year.
You was in if you guys don't know that area of the states is like a lot of athletes come out of there. So
yeah,
tell me what it's like I don't want to cut you, but just describe that. Go on.
Just being out there, like being young and stuff, it's a different feel. You get a different feel for everything. I'm so used to being in the New York streets, trains, everything. Then I go down south. It's just a whole different world. You know what I'm saying? It's hot. It's the South. It ain't no trains. It ain't really nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you got to navigate through like with your teammates, your coaches. Got to drive everywhere. The food is different. So just getting accustomed to that was a little tough because I was young. I was homesick. But that environment, it was dope though. Great competition and everything like that. So
Is it better than New York City competition?
nothing's better than New York City.
Oh, okay. I just had to check you on that. I just had to check.
Nothing's better than New York City. But just being out there, it was cool. It was a dope ass. Oops. Dope ass,
Nah, you good. You good.
dope ass experience, bro. Word. But that wasn't it for me though. I came back home.
When did you come back home? Was this going into college days or
Nah,
still high school?
this was like my junior year.
Okay.
So my junior year, I came back home and I went to school in the Bronx, Satellite Academy.
Gritty Bronx.
Yeah,
Summers everywhere. Brooklyn, Bronx, South Carolina.
Bronx, South Carolina. Yeah, so I did 2 years there. I won 2 championships there. PSAL,
Yes,
A
sir.
alternative. Yeah, so I got 2 chips there, and it was
Which division?
it was dope. It was A.
Okay.
Yeah, it was A. It was dope though. I had a great coach, great teammates.
So cool. So what college did you go to? And I'm assuming once the guys get into their own in high school, going into college ball is really where we separate the real from just the only good and the greats from the good. So what was your point in college, if this was your point where you took basketball to another level?
I think when my first year I was in Cali. I was at a division
California. Another guy went to Cali.
one.
Yes.
Yeah, I was at a junior college, San
Junior
Diego
college.
Mesa,
Okay.
D1, JUCO. Going there was a crazy experience too. You go different places and you realize like, yo, you gotta really learn to adapt, and you gotta learn to just really try to navigate through everything by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been on this road before, but just going there was a crazy experience. Also, you learn so much. It's a different style of play. You know what I'm saying? So just being there kind of made me get like a chip on my shoulder and understand like you gotta really work your ass off every day. It's not gonna be no handouts like how high school is. It's not gonna be none of that. You all alone. You all by yourself. You gotta really push through.
So what, when you say you're all by yourself, right? In these instances, we lean on things. So what part of your upbringing did you lean on when you're so far away from home, family? Like, what were you thinking about to keep you going throughout your journey?
My mom,
Okay, let's
My
talk.
mom.
Let's talk about your mother.
she's like my biggest motivation. Besides my son now, of course. But she always like enhanced my mind. It's always about mental stability. If you ain't got that, you ain't got nothing. So she always told me like, whatever you do in life, just always make sure you push through. Stay consistent, stay positive, through all the hurdles or anything. So that's the biggest thing that I always took, and that's what kind of like gave me like a strong mindset, toughness, grit with everything.
No pushover.
No pushover. So that's what made me like kind of like really push through. Like whenever I go through something or I think about something negative or positive, I'm thinking about my mother, of course.
Okay, so we go from California. What's the next step? Because you did tell me you went to go play basketball in Mexico, but how did we get there? What was that? What was that time frame like? When was that? What was the journey like of getting to Mexico before we talk about it?
So that journey was crazy. So after Cali, like I went to a couple other schools.
Could you just name them if you? I don't want to make it so condensed, but just to give it a little bit.
I went to Fort Montgomery 1 year. Then I left. Then I went to Sullivan. We was ranked number 2 in the country. Then after that, I went to Buffalo State. But it was real unfortunate what happened at Buffalo State. I was supposed to play and an accident happened. Wrong place, wrong time. It's tough out there. You got to be mindful of where you're going. You got.
Could you describe a little bit of that accident? Did this lead to certain things?
Yeah. So I was out there to play, of course. One late night, I'm on Elmwood Avenue. Wrong place, wrong time. It was some dudes. Of course, I'm new. I don't know anything. I'm just trying to go get something to eat. I got stabbed twice. So after I got stabbed, through adrenaline and stuff, I just, got back home. I didn't know I was bleeding so much.
His home Buff State campus, or
I
this
was
is
I was
he was
off
off
camp,
campus? Because
but
I
I
went
was
to Buffalo State. I don't know if you know, but
I was supposed to be on camp, you know, but I was, you know, with somebody, and I found, like, when I found out, you know, I just showered and stuff. I didn't know it was that, you know,
that's
deep.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah. Come to find out, you literally bled out to death. So I go to the hospital like the next morning.
Like no one helping you at this point. You just going off the strength of you. This happened. I feel like this. Get back to the crib. Oh snap. This is all within like a
Yeah.
6-hour period.
Yeah, just trying to, you know, shower.
God, so no one noticed. No
Alcohol,
one saw nothing.
Alcohol.
God
Well,
damn.
I was with somebody, but you know, went to the hospital and they told me I could have really died. I could have bled out to death.
Okay.
So it was a little process for me. Like I couldn't get stitches. I could have died from maternal bleeding. I couldn't get stitches, so it had to heal on the outside. Yeah, so around that time period, you know, it was tryouts and everything, workouts and stuff. By the time I fully healed, like, they were already in the season. So that was it.
There
for
was
me.
no making rotation. It was just all about healing at that point.
Yeah, that was it for me.
Okay.
That was
So
it for me.
so how did we get from that? What was the rehab like? What was, you know, as a player and a person, you got to rehab. Now you think about two things: rehabbing about your life, getting your stuff together, healthy, making sure you good, and then now you got to rehab, picking up a basketball and trying to get back to something you love. What was it? What was the hardest thing going through that? Knowing you got two things you got to worry about: your life and your passion, and you had to balance that out to become the man you are today.
It was tough. You know, you gotta go through a lot of things mentally. So I had to really mentally prep myself again, you know, just with feelings and emotions more than the game. Because, you know, that's muscle memory. You know you could get that back. You know that you can, you know, like, grind and get to the places that you need to be, you know, as long as you work hard. So for me, it, like, getting back to the game, it wasn't really hard, but just really realizing, like, what I lost out on, and certain things that I know I could have did to, you know, avoid certain situations. But you can't stop what life brings to you.
Yeah.
So it just kind of, you know, made me a bit more stronger, and just knowing that, like, you can't take nothing for granted. So I just, you know, I took that from there, and, you know, I just kept going.
Kept going. So now, how did you get recruited to Mexico? How did you make that decision of I'm about to go play ball overseas, make this a real thing in my life?
I got the luxury of knowing a lot of people. I could be real. I got the luxury of knowing a lot of people, especially from punting, all the work that I've done. You know, just coming up, hooping and stuff, winning a lot of, you know, tournaments, playing AAU. So I got to really, you know, expand my variety of people that I know, you know, networking,
Yes.
and growing bonds with people. So, you know, I got, you know, a little connect with an agent, you know, sent over film, everything like that. We spoke, you know, and we got the show rolling.
So just describe that show. What was it like? How long has it been? What year? What was the time that you got in, and how long have you been there?
Well, I was in Mexico for about a month and a half.
Month and a half.
Yeah. So it's a lot, like, you know, when you go overseas, like, a lot of people, they have their cake handed to them. You know what I'm
Is this
saying?
recently that you got
Yeah,
in?
yeah.
Oh,
I
recently?
was there in this November.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. So basically, you know, a lot of people, you know, they have, like, a status, you know, when they're hooping and stuff like that. So some people, they don't have to get it out the mud, you know, when you're going overseas. My experience was like a roller coaster. It's tough as fuck. Like, going to a different country and stuff, you realize, like, how life is where you're from. So for me, like, I knew that shit was gonna be different, but I didn't understand that it was gonna be that different. You know what I'm saying? When I got to Mexico, I was scared as fuck. I got off the plane, I was scared as fuck.
Everybody you don't know.
I don't know nobody.
Life is different.
Life different.
Possibly even thinking how good you had it before and going into some place where you just seeing other people being in their environment.
Yeah, you just realize how different it is. Like, out here compared to there, it's a silver spoon. A silver spoon. Like,
Some people don't understand how good we got it sometimes.
It's tough. Like I said, I got off the plane. I was scared as fuck. I had to throw on my roaming data. You go from T-Mobile service to another service you ain't never
Yeah,
heard of
hero,
before.
possibly in a different language.
Yeah, so just adjusting to that at first, it was tough, bro.
So let's tailor the conversation, right? So I understand you're a man of faith.
Yeah.
So describe your faith and how did it impact your life and why is it so prevalent in your life?
I'm Muslim. So, Allah has granted me so much, through pain, through struggle, through good times. You know what I'm saying? Like he's brought out the best of me. It was a point in time I felt like I was giving up and Allah just showed me like, this is just your test. So the test turned into a testament of my life. And I just, I said to myself, every hurdle, struggle, or anything that I go through, I'm going to put Allah first and he's going to show me and deem everything that I need to be done.
You say he gives you tests. What was your biggest test?
My biggest test is just life itself, just period. Being a parent, having responsibilities, having a craft you want to work on, having dreams you want to pursue. Just trying to do everything and balancing it out. So, that's just one of the things, or some of the things that, I go through on a day-to-day basis. That he's just showing me that, every day, take it day by day. Stay consistent. Do the things that you need to do. Even if it's hard, balance it out. Even if you got to take baby steps, take baby steps.
So I definitely like that. Take baby steps all the time. It's not about where you go, it's how you get there. And you got to enjoy the journey. Like favorite basketball players, a lot of people's favorite basketball players, Kobe used to say, you enjoy the journey, enjoy the process.
Yeah.
So what was it about your faith? Like, who was this brought on by family? Was this brought on by something you searched for during your trials and tribulations? Just what got you there? What got you to being the man that believes in that?
I converted on my own.
Okay.
Like I grew up, I was Christian. But that was by choice. That was by choice from my mom, my dad. So for me, I just felt like my life, I was just not living on edge, but I didn't really have like a complete balance. I didn't have much structure. I was just kind of like living to live. So when I converted, I knew it would bring structure, a more positive vibe, something that I would have to abide by every day, pray, read, and just, do certain things that just made me just have better beliefs, better knowledge on life, and, just go about things way better. Instead of just, saying like, oh, okay, I'm gonna party, I'm gonna do this. Okay, what's next?
What's next?
You know what I'm saying?
What are you striving for? What are you doing for?
Right.
So what are you striving for? What's on your mind now? Like, what have you been doing? What is your mission? What's pushing you every day? That there's something. I mean, I see you on a basketball court, but there's something that drives that. There's something that's behind that. What's behind everything that you do?
My son. My son, my mom, my family. I just lost one of my bros not too long ago, probably about a week ago now, my boy Jesse.
Sorry to hear that.
Man, appreciate it. So, just life itself, just living out here, you understand that it's a lot of gun violence. It's a lot of things that's happening out here that, you can't control, but you want to get away from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you kind of, like, for me, I just kind of want to set the blueprint for my family, my son. Everybody that love me, I just want to show them that, you can do certain things. And you can make a big impact that'll open up everybody's eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So your son, let's talk about being a father. How old is your son, and what has it brought to your life? You said you're 26. So
Yeah.
how old is your son? When did you have your son, and what is it like? There's a whole change in life.
Oh, my son Khalil, he's gonna be 2 this August. Yo, he changed my life for real. He gave me like a different aspect on it. Because like I'm not living for myself no more. I'm living for my son. So just like how, I told you about my mom, like, so everything that I do, I think about my mom and my son. Like she paved the way for me. I want to pave the way for him. And I want to bring, some good things to his life. You know, when he grow up, I want him to see that, you know, his father did certain things, you know, to like set the blueprint for him. Hooping, you know, going to school, you know, playing college ball, going overseas, just doing little things like that. Just, you know, as he grows up, I just wanted him to, you know, always see that so he can understand that, okay, my father, you know, left this trail for me. Let me keep following it.
Yeah.
Let me be better. Let me do better.
So when we think about the influences in our life, I hear you talk about your mother. I hear you talk about your son. When it comes to being able to just put all those things together and become the man that you are today, what is it about that influences the basketball? I look at you as a guy that is aggressive, gets to the hole, not afraid of nothing. How do you bring all those things together into a basketball court? Some people can't handle outside life and then being able to use basketball or play basketball. And like, what is that for you? What is that dynamic of handling outside life and basketball?
It's a luxury. That's how I look at it. Like, you know, going through certain things. Like I've battled depression. You know what I'm saying? Like,
May I ask why?
yeah, of course. Just more so about having goals that you want to achieve that you feel like you haven't achieved. So it kind of brings you down.
Still young though.
Yeah, not making a lot of money like you want to. It'll bring you down. You know, just little things like that turn into big, you know, problems. You know, you think about certain things, you thinking 10 steps ahead and you ain't even start yet. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
There's been times in my life where I wanted a car. I didn't have a license. I wanted a job. I didn't even have a state ID.
This is not funny, but word.
Yeah, like, you know, like when you younger, you planning so far ahead and your life ain't even panning out yet. You know what I'm saying?
You don't even have all the tools.
You don't even have everything. You don't got the knowledge of nothing.
Facts.
I want to be a veterinarian. I'm scared of dogs. You get what I'm saying? You just thinking so far ahead and you don't know what life is going to do or how it's going to hit you until you really take those baby steps and those ladders. Like, you know what I'm saying? My mom always taught me, like, take a step ahead. It's a ladder to success. You know what I'm saying? So I went through a lot of depression just wanting to have things that I knew I couldn't have because I didn't work for it.
So how did you get through that depression? Some people are, the notion is therapy isn't the way to, well, I wouldn't say the way to go, but people frown upon therapy. Some people don't want to enforce their own problems to other people. How did you get through that? How did you battle that? How did you get through the darkness into the light? Like, what was your process in just saying, okay, I'm here now. This is what has happened. This is what I'm going through. This is how I feel. How did you say, okay, time to, not for, but, you know, lack of a better term, but how did we move on from that?
Everybody, like, when you go through life, you got to have coping mechanisms. You have to.
What was one of your coping mechanisms?
Listening to music, being around friends and family. Fashion was a way for me to express myself. Playing basketball is a way for me to just, you know, thug things out, have some grit, play hard, express myself, you know, yell, scream, certain things like that. You know what I'm saying? Writing too.
Ooh.
Writing.
What did you write about? Your life or poems? Like, what was your structure in that?
Every time I go through something mentally, I always put it in my notes on my phone. So, like, whenever I went through something crazy or something that was, you know, traumatizing or something, you know, of course we have our peers where we express certain things, but it's been times I wrote in my notes.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm really angry about this shit that just happened. You know what I'm saying? I express it. And then, like, next month, I'll just look on it. I'll look at my notes. I'll see, like, what I've been going through. And I use that as motivation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Create your own level of motivation and bring it out bring it out
like,
yourself.
Like, I was here.
Yeah.
But now I'm here.
Now I'm here.
Right, so.
I realized you just off of social medias and everything, because I saw you at E4T. Shout out those guys. You played real good in that first game. You told me you had an injury. You're only 80% back.
Yeah.
What was the injury? And that's another rehab. So what was the injury that caused you to go through that and describe the battle?
So I was out for about like 2 months. I had like a serious ankle injury. You know, I had a couple tears. and some other ligaments and stuff like that was messed up. I was hooping, and I had the game. It was flooded. Like the game was packed. It had to be like the best game in the Jaffe Runs tournament that just passed. So a dude was guarding me 94 feet, pushed me baseline. Baselines was flooded. I twist my ankle and
On somebody's foot.
yeah, and it just popped like, and I was like, oh shit. So that happened, and I was sidelined, for a couple months. That rehab it wasn't bad, but just having a boot on my foot for a month, and then going to these basketball games, watching these games, it just made me feel a little miserable.
The love of the game was taken from you.
Love of the game was taken, but I just, I did certain things just to get by. Even if I can't play ball, I'm gonna be around it. But
yeah, sorry not to cut you, but I see you also on the social media. You said that you found a love for the game again. What was the injury that caused the loss of the love of the game again? Like you found a newfound love for it, aspiration, made you go a little harder. Was that the injury or was it something else?
it was more so just life itself. Sometimes you gotta detox away from something that you love to fix other things that you need to get done. So I just had a lot of priorities and things that I had to get intact, with myself mentally, my family, doing the things that I have to do. Being a father, being a family man, and just, understanding that you gotta have certain things taken care of before you could prosper with anything else. Reality hits you, life hits you, and you gotta just say to yourself, like, okay, I gotta get this done. And then I could go back to doing certain things that I like to do and I love to do.
So what was it? What was in your life that? Because when he told me, he was like, "Yo, I got a story to tell," and I'm like, "Okay," but of course, I need to make sure I need to feel you. I need to feel the guy out before I put a special person in this chair. I got to see what they're about. What was it in your life that was a tipping point for you? What was it that a point where it clicked? What was a point where I understand what happened in Buffalo was one, but what was it? Was there something else that happened to you that made you change your outlook on life, change your outlook on basketball, and just changing your mentality on things?
I lost a lot of people I love. So
I don't want to go too deep in the wound, but could you?
Like I lost my grandma. She was like my biggest motivation. So losing her just kind of, made me just say, like, I gotta stick with this. I gotta stick with this shit. Before she passed away, I was bringing home trophies every month. MVPs, championships, stuff like that. And it brought joy to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It brought joy to her, just her, seeing my craft, my talents and stuff like that. It kind of motivated me because I always wanted to make her proud and do certain things. But besides her, I lost a lot of people to gun violence. You know what I'm saying? Like, just coming from where I come from and just being around certain things, like, it just shows you that life is short. I've literally seen somebody, get killed in front of me after a party. I've seen a lot of things that a lot of people couldn't even fathom in their life. I've been through a lot of things that people couldn't even fathom in their life. So for me, that's why I am who I am. That's why I'm like aggressive on the court. That's why, I got a lot of passion for it because I've experienced so much. So just going through that and getting through that, you realize that you gotta really prosper and take on every moment. You gotta take in every moment, grasp on everything, cherish everybody, Like, you gotta understand that when you go through these things, you realize how short life is.
So let's talk about, you said a lot there in terms of trauma, seeing things.
Yeah.
What does trauma do to a man that's have a lot of responsibilities? If you could give advice to somebody that's going through trauma, for example, saying that you've seen these certain things happen, you've been through these certain things. There's people like yourself that has probably gone through a similar situation or almost the exact same situation. Could have not been here anymore, but just through strength and faith, you are today. So what do you say to those that go through such traumatic experiences and have to keep on going? Because, life is almost like a simulation. We just going and going, and But like you said, you take things day by day. But what do you tell that to a man? What do you say to that man?
Keep your faith strong. Stay positive. You know, have an agenda that'll help you get by on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, coping mechanisms. You got to do things that'll make you happy. Like in life, you got to really realize, like, you got to have go-to things. You know what I'm saying? Like, my go-to thing is, you know, when I'm going through something, I get my son. And he just brightens my day up.
Bundle of joy.
Bundle of joy. But, you know, if you don't have, like, you know, a son or a daughter or anything like that, you know, you got to figure out your niche. What's your niche in life? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, a lot of people, they just follow people. You know what I'm saying? They're not a leader in their mind. Like, a lot of people aren't alpha males. A lot of people aren't independent. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens with people. Like, they go through things and they don't have nobody to rely on but the crowd that they're chasing or the negative shit that's going on. So my advice is just to find your niche. Whatever makes you happy. It don't matter what it is. If you selling ice cream, you got a lemonade stand. If you selling clothes, if you're rapping, if you're doing certain things that just, you know, makes you feel happy, always do that and revert back to that when something bad is happening. Have faith. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So let's talk about some basketball.
Yeah.
You've been in street ball. How did you get into street ball and the street ball scene, and what's your favorite place to play?
I was in the street ball scene for a long time.
How did you get there?
So like when I was 11, I was at a little tournament, and a friend of my father had seen me playing, and I wound up running with a local team called the Young Bucks. So they based out of Bed-Stuy. So once I started playing with them, we started playing in a lot of tournaments, like even playing against AAU teams. And once some AAU teams seen, you know, what I had to bring to the table, I started hooping with them. So I had a little run playing AAU and stuff.
AAU, what's that like? Going all these different states, all this traveling, seeing all these tournaments, seeing the greats, seeing young greats.
Yeah, that.
Like, what's that scene like? What's that room like when you all sitting there realizing like, okay, he's a bucket, he's a stopper, he's a handler, he does this, he does that.
That right there itself was like, when you young, you playing AAU, you basically playing in the NBA for your age. I'm just gonna keep it real. When you playing AAU, you basically playing in the NBA for your age or the D1 for your age. Like everywhere you go, you're gonna get some tough players, studs, future pros, you know, All Americans. You know, I had the luxury of playing with one, so it was cool.
Who was that one?
Isaiah Wyatt.
Okay.
Yeah, I played with Wyatt coming up, so it was dope. My favorite place to play is Main Event, and that's our coach, Jermaine Brown. Like when I'm out there, I know I gotta kill everybody.
What's your favorite matchup? Who's somebody or who's a team that you've seen or that you tend to go against? Like, you know, just like how life sets it, you go against them multiple times and you just either have probably some of your bad games and then you come back with a great one. Like, what's your favorite matchup, team-wise or player? I know it's a lot of New York City cats, a lot of out of town cats. I may not have to know him. It doesn't matter if I know him. But
that's a tough one. I can't even say because I've played against damn near everybody.
Can we narrow it down to Brooklyn? Maybe can we narrow it down to try to narrow it down to Brooklyn or the 5 boroughs. If that's too small
that's
of a
tough.
pool.
That's so tough because I've played a lot of places. Like I've played with and against a lot of people, so I can't even tell you. I really can't even tell you. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's a hard one, bro. I can't even answer that.
All right, so I'll give a follow up then. So what is it about about New York City basketball that sets us different, right? Even if it's from the wackest guy that plays in the park at New York, you know that when he goes somewhere else, I'm not saying he gonna ball out, but he has a different mentality of playing. There's a different way. There's a different mindset. Where do you think that comes from for a guy that lives in Brooklyn, been here for a majority of his life?
Toughness.
Toughness.
Motherfuckers is gonna play hard, bro.
Even if we can't handle
Regardless,
a nada.
we can't guard somebody, we still gonna say they suck.
Mm-hmm.
If you going at somebody and you trash and you having a good game, you gonna pop mad shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just that toughness and that feel that we got, that grit and shit. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know me. I'm not scared of anything or anybody on the court. So I don't care if they saying, oh, this nigga played in the D League, G League, F League. I don't care. I'm gonna go at you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got no excuses. I got zero tolerance on the court. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm gonna go at you. So that's just my little,
Yeah.
hidden agenda on the court. Like, I don't care who you are. Don't say nothing to me. I don't even want to talk to you.
Are you a trash talking kind of guy? Or you just let the bucket speak for themselves?
I let the bucket speak for itself on a certain extent.
On a certain extent. If you take me there.
Yeah, because it be times I be chilling,
Mm-hmm.
and then people start talking. Once you start talking,
Little flip the switch.
yeah, I'm just getting to like a little beast mode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are. I'm going to start looking at you. You say something to me, I'm going to tell you, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Shut the fuck up.
Is
And
that-
one.
You think that where do you think that comes from though? Like I feel like the moving, the talking, like just us. I feel like it comes from the lunch table in middle school where everybody made fun of each other. Like where do you think that sense of, oh, you want to talk now? All right, see, now I gotta prove you on. Where is that pride? Is that how we grew up? Or like where do you think that comes from? At least for you.
For me, it's 4 green. It's our mentality. It's a 4 green mentality. You play on the course out there, you get this toughness, this grit, this hunger, and you want to just show everybody that you that dude. Just coming up in them streets, 4 green, just period, it's
Yeah.
a different kind of vibe. I'm telling you, I promise you. You see any player from 4 green, like some top tier players, dudes like that who put in work,
Yeah.
you'll see how we really act. We not scared of nothing.
Nothing.
So that's 6-7 for you. That's 4 green for sure. That's what it is.
So let's go into. I'm gonna keep it basketball.
Yeah.
What's your goals for the summer? Summer's here. Summer starts in a month, allegedly by the calendar, but it's already hot outside. A couple tournaments starting up. A couple about to start. So, if you could tell the people, I don't know if it's a secret. Give us some places where you're definitely gonna be this summer, and what are your goals? Which tournaments are you keeping your eye on?
Main event, of course.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in Gersh.
Okay.
It's a lot of tournaments. I'm at E4T.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be playing in a lot of stuff uptown, like Marble Hill, Uptown Classic, Uptown Showdown, LES Express. So it's gonna be a lot of stuff.
Is it a secret who you playing for some of these places?
A
It's
little
a
secret.
little secret. All right.
little
So
secret.
which one's the secret?
Gersh.
I knew it. You're gonna have to tell me off camera, no cap. Not even
Yeah,
gonna hold you.
Gersh.
But okay. So
Playing in West Forth too.
West Forth.
It's a lot. It's a lot of tournaments. Like I've been getting a lot of yo Aura, please.
Mm-hmm.
Who you playing with, bro? So
okay. So you got any championship aspirations? Like you think any of those teams that you're on, if they're different teams, you think they're good enough to win?
Of course. I got championship aspirations anywhere I go. It don't matter if I'm playing with Day from around the corner who ain't played ball in 5 years.
Oh, son that just came back from college.
Yeah. Just I got championship aspirations anywhere.
So, cool. So we gonna give you your 15 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. What do you want to get off your chest? What's something that you've been waiting to say to the people on this platform? Like, what is something you've been itching to say? Like, just this is your 2 seconds. You got your camera. You can look straight into the camera. You can look right at me. What do you want to say to the people?
Y'all niggas gonna have a long ass summer. I'm coming for everybody. It's gonna be a big summer. It's gonna be a crazy summer. I promise y'all that. It's the only thing I gotta say.
Only thing I gotta say. One last question, right? So, how did you get the name Aura? We're gonna end it off here. How did you get the name Aura? And how is that? You got MMB on your chain. I already know your Instagram handle, MMB Aura. So, how did that come about? How is that? Is that a different person?
Which one you want to know first, M&B or Aura?
We'll go with MMB first, and then we'll go into Aura. Yeah, word.
All right, so M&B is a group. It's my brothers. I won't call us a gang, but we a family. You know, we got artists, we got hoopers, we got entrepreneurs, we got everything. M&B started with the same dude who told me how to play ball, my boy Jamie, and then my bro Malik. And we started expanding. So it's a family thing. I've been M&B my whole life. Aura, I got the name Aura from, he a dancer.
The dancer.
Yeah, Nico, but he go by King of Spank, Spaceman.
So why did he call you Aura? Like, what was the meaning behind it?
Good vibes, structure, style, you know, grace with everything that you do, how you handle yourself. So he had gave me that name. We had a group called Aura by Nature. He was, you know, the CEO of that. He brung me along. He taught me a lot, just like style, how to dress, how to handle yourself, you know, certain things like that. So he gave me that name, and I took it and I ran with it.
Yes, sir, as you should. Aura, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. We got Aura here, guys. Another installment, Sway Reporting Live. He said it's going to be a long summer for y'all. We'll definitely see, because you know Sway Reporting Live will be in the streets, in the trenches, just with y'all. So thank you for being here, my friend.
Appreciate
thank you
it,
once
bro.
again. I appreciate it. You definitely
sir.
graced the floor with some good content, some good game.
Yeah.
And your life is your life. Go by day. I appreciate
sure.
you for being here.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Catch you next time.
Yo, AD, we gon' fuck this shit up.